Hey guys, Shock here. Welcome back to the channel. I wanted to upload another list of my virtual world deck. This one specifically for the July 2021 format. I've been continuing to top a bunch of tournaments with this deck, and this is my rendition, or my version, I guess, for the July format after I think a bunch of virtual world decks actually topped a recent PPG event, and I took a couple ideas from those decks and kind of applied them and kind of what I thought, and I just kind of took the deck going forward here. So if you guys want to see more videos like this, I think I am bringing a Dino video coming soon here. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And yeah, thanks so much guys for the support on the last video, and I hope you guys enjoy this one. So let's get straight into it. Let's start with the main deck. I'm not going to waste a whole lot of your time for the main deck because it's pretty standard. So we're playing, of course, the 3 Lulu, the 3 Lily, the 3 Lao Lao, and the 3 Gigi. You know, they're just the best hand effects. You have to play them. And then 2 Nian Nian and the 1 E-Telly. So I was actually talking about this last profile. Foolish Burial Goods is a really good card. I really like Foolish Burial Goods. The only issue I have with it is the discard, and I was actually talking with the guy in the comments last time, and I did hear what he had to say. It does make sense that the discard's pretty bad for Foolish Burial Goods. My main thing, though, is doing actually the testing for this card. This basically, E-Telly acts as a card that interacts with all the hand effects, and that's really what you want. I know you want to see more hand effects, but not by the cost of discarding a card. It's just a little bit too rough sometimes. And then finally, the other thing with E-Telly is that you really don't need to play 2/2. You really only want to have 3 like cards that you like, monsters that you want to actually summon, or else you're gonna brick on 4 with the 2/2. So that's why I decided to do E-Telly and the 2 Nian Nian, and you really can't get away, I think, with 1 Nian Nian, 1 2/2, especially when you're playing Desires. So that's the virtual world monsters. 3 Kowloon, 3 Qinglong, 2 Chuche, 1 Zhuanwu. These cards are pretty good. This is a pretty standard ratio. Nothing really needs to be said about it. Everybody pretty much plays that ratio. And then this is kind of where my deck changes a little bit. Well, it doesn't really deviate, but you know, this is where pretty much every person can, at this point, like, show you how your deck is different from everybody else's. So the 3 Pot of Desires, obviously, most people play Pot of Desires at this point. Pot of Prosperity is not that good of a card, I don't think, specifically for this deck, because you just need that +1, although it does let you see your Lulus and your cities very consistently. I just don't think it's good enough. Also, it's kind of nice because it's really expensive and I don't want to pay for it, so it just kind of works out that Pot of Desires is actually the better card. The 1 Called By, I actually noticed all of the decks that topped played Called By, and I have been playing Called By. I cut it recently for the hand trap lineup, but then I put it back in because this card's just too good. And then we're gonna have a massive amount of hand traps, so don't hate me, but the 3 Gamma, the 1 Driver, of course. These cards act very similar to Called By the Grave. I really am not a huge fan of this card, but it just hits so many cards right now in the format that you kind of have to play it, to be honest with you. 3 Ash and 2 Bell. These are cards basically level 3 tuners that are really good hand traps as well. I like Ash a lot. I think it's definitely something you should always play, but the Ghost Bell, I like it, and I want to play 3 of it, and I was actually playing 41 with 3 of it for a little bit, but it's kind of hard because I feel like this card's really, really bad against the Tri-Brigade deck, and maybe I'm giving that deck too much credit, but this card is literally good against every other deck. So there's that, and then the 3 Imperm. So Imperm is obviously really good, high impact against Drytron and all that good stuff. And then including the Called By the Grave, we're actually playing, I believe it's 13 non-engine cards. So a lot of virtual world decks will kind of vary between anywhere from 11 to 13 non-virtual world cards. And some people will even say that Cyframe Lord Omega, or Cyframe Gear Gamma actually is part of the virtual world lineup. So, you know, it is what it is. Moving on to the extra deck here. So we're playing the 1 Shen Shen, of course, 1 Croc, and 1 Vermilion Dragon Mech. This is The same for my last video, you don't really need to talk about this. One thing I do want to mention though is that Evenly Match is getting a little bit more popular, and I have been looking at options like playing Hot Red Dragon Archfiend, but really the way you play around Evenly Match with this deck is essentially just generating a bunch of card advantage. And then, for example, if you end on a board of like this plus Croc plus like, isn't it like M7, I believe, sometimes you end on that board with the trap. So if you end on like this board and they activate Evenly Match on you, what you can do is go ahead and let all the, you should have 4 cards in hand, and one of them is going to be a Lulu plus the Salamangreat, so you have a follow-up for next turn. And then from there, when they activate it, you activate Chuche, shuffle some resources back, pop itself, and then you keep the Shen. And yeah, you are losing your a lot of your extra deck monsters at that point, but the fact that Shen's a floodgate, they still have to get over it. It's still a beat stick. And then once they get over it, you can just revive it back next turn, and you have so many resources to just play. So I don't know. I really think it's good, and I really think that this lineup, obviously, you know, going without saying, Vermilion Dragon Mech's incredibly good. And then Stardust Charge Warrior, Coral Dragon, and Juju, both incredibly good. And then Juju is really good against the Shaddoll matchup, which I don't really ever play Shaddolls very often, but I hear it's pretty good. So we're going to continue to play that until I think it's not worth it. The Zolkin package of Zolkin, Crystal Wing. We are playing the Muddy Dragon and the 1 Kaliga. This is something that I added after the tournament came out and everybody was playing Kaliga and Muddy Dragon. I kind of realized a couple different ways to play with my extra deck that I actually didn't need as many outs to the Dragoon card, the Red Eyes Dragoon card, as I thought. A lot of times you can just go into Crystal Wing and bait it out, and then from there go into Zeus or other different scenarios. There's definitely ways to kind of exploit that situation. So Crystal Wing is definitely a way to bait out Dragoon, so don't forget that. And then Kaliga is obviously really good against your Drytron matchup, which is the main reason why you play it to stop combo decks. Then you're playing the 1 Fortune Tune, the 1 Fan, the 1 M7, the 1 Thunder Charger, and then the 1 Zeus. So basically this deck is Zeus Turbo with like 2 really good rank 6 monsters. So yeah, I mean, that's all there really is to say about it. You just want to be able to get to Zeus as easily as possible, and this card guarantees you access to Zeus. Sometimes you just need to get to it. And I really wanted to play like more versatile rank 3s, but I think the way that I'm playing the extra deck right now, I think you kind of have to play Fortune Tune. Kind of stinks. But, you know, it is what it is. It's not that bad of a card. And then M7 and Fan are just MVPs along with this card, giving you more access to the Zeus. So, yeah, it's just so powerful. Quickly, we'll go through the side deck and my theory, and then we'll finish the video. Don't forget, if you guys are still watching, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe here, because this side deck took me quite a while to figure out what I wanted to do with it. And it might not be 100% intuitive, but I do think that overall it is a pretty good side deck. So the 3 Nib and the 3 Droll. So literally a couple minutes before I did this profile, I had Lancia over the Nib in my side, and then I decided to finally go to Nib because I was thinking all the matchups that Nib is good in, and like again, I might be giving more credit to the Tri-Brigade deck, but I think Nib is good enough against that deck, and then Droll is decent against it, I guess, but we have enough hand traps in the main to be able to deal with that deck most likely. And then Nib is also really good against Salad and a couple other decks, whereas Droll hits your other matchups like Drytron, and Nib also has overlap into the Drytron matchup as well. So yeah, I kind of like them all for that versatility and stuff like that. I was thinking Lancia, but Lancia probably isn't necessary. And then this is kind of where my side deck might be different from a lot of side decks you've seen. So the 2 of the Wind Kaiju, and then 3 Twin Twister and a Heartbeast Feather Duster. So these cards are obviously really good against things like Salad and Sky Striker and any other backer decks, I guess, like Shaddolls as well. But these cards are really, really good. This is really good for getting rid of your Sky Striker. It's like really strong on the Sky Striker matchup. It's also pretty decent in the Salamangreat matchup as well. But now that we have the Nibs, like I feel like it's like less necessary. But still, I do think that the Wind Kaiju is really strong in that matchup. It's also decent if you are scared of them doing in the Tri-Brigade matchup, doing the wind statue barrier, you can use this to get over it. And this also is an out to Dragoon, which is another cool thing. If you know you're just playing against a Dragoon turbo deck, then this card outs Dragoon. So you know, a lot of cool stuff with it, and I think it's kind of a nice pairing to the backward removal. And then the 2 anti-spell and the 1 Imperial Order for the going first cards. I did take out, unfortunately, the Tikaboos, but overall I think that the deck should be okay without them. But yeah, I am regretting taking those cards out, but I do think that the deck will probably manage with just these 3 going first cards, because the deck is already really good going first anyways. It's like a lot of setting up and then just kind of murdering your opponent after the fact. So yeah, that'll actually do it for my list. Let me know what you guys thought of my list. I appreciate all the interaction, and again, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and all that crap. Thanks so much again, and we'll see you guys soon, and hopefully I'll go to some more tournaments and kick some more butt. So see ya.